T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review. And today we're going to be looking at the third-party TFC Toys Hercules Heavylabor. Now, I was going through my videos and I remembered that I did X-Graver and labeled him part 1 of 6. So I figured I probably should do Heavylabor. And I've had this guy for a month or so now. I don't know, I shipped him when he first came out, so I've had him for quite a while actually. So I could have done this earlier, but I neglected to do so. So anyway, here's this box. It matches exactly like X-Gravers, just with Heavylabor. You get this really nice, piece of artwork there, which is pretty nice. Again, bigger on the side. The toy in both it's 3 forms on the back. And then some product shots on the side. Nothing terribly fancy. And then on the inside, past the clear plastic, hey, you can see me mostly. Almost. But anyway, past the clear plastic in the back, you can see that same product shot here. It does say Heavylabor on the side, inside. Nothing too fancy. Again, part 2 of 6. I have Structor in my pile of loot, but since I'm trying to save some money on ordering these guys from BBTS, probably not getting him until Neckbreaker comes in as well. So here's Heavylabor himself. And I gotta say, I love this little robot. So, I mean, I guess he's not that little. He's certainly not huge, but here he is next to a deluxe Starscream who has a leg folding on in there. So you can see his size. He is a little bit smaller than your typical Voyager. So, I like this guy. He's full of character, and the styling is, interesting. It's much more of a G1 styling here. Unfortunately, this guy's not terribly well painted, but that's kind of what they're going for with the faceplate and stuff if you look at the G1 toy. And they've captured the G1 pretty well in this guy. You get these 2 guns, one in red, one in purple. If you recall the X-Graver review, he also had them, and the idea is that these are you're going to essentially get 2 guns, all red one, which I'm probably going to end up painting a lot of this black with red detailing because it'll look better, and then a purple one, which I'm going to leave the same because the G1 Devastator's gun is purple. And all of them have like little ports and stuff so you can make this combined gun. Now this is not how it's supposed to go, but this is just showing you how it's all going to combine. Here's a picture of what the combined gun's going to look like if you haven't seen it. So anyway, back to Heavylabor here. He's a pretty cool figure. He's got a nice range of motion, 360. That's on a nice swivel, so you can get plenty of motion out of that. His arm has a rotation. He's got an elbow joint. No wrist swivel, but hey, what can you do? So he can only do something like that. The head on this guy's not quite as nice as X-Graver. Only looking left and right. He has really no up and down except for the slight bit you get due to how he transforms. The legs are a bit of a scary deal. Now my particular Heavylabor here had the problem where his legs wouldn't be straight and I had to take them apart. If you guys want to see a video on how to do that and what you actually need to change, I can go ahead and unfix it and then do a video if you guys want to see it. So let me know in the comments below if you're interested. It's really not that hard. You've got 1 screw here and 3 screws here, and then it's just about playing with the gearing. But I can show you guys if you really want to see it, so let me know if that's something that would interest you. Unfortunately, this guy does have a problem that the ratchets in here are really tight. Now mine don't seem like they're going to break. I won't force it past this because it doesn't want to go past that, but I can get a tiny bit of leg motion out of it. Same for the other one. Now, I've heard that there's a tab inside that likes to break itself, which is why I really don't want to go past this particular extension of the leg. My understanding is that TFC Toys realizes it's a problem, and they are going to send replacement parts, but it's not coming with Structor. It'll probably come with Neckbreaker. But until then, I don't want to click it past there. Assuming he did have fully workable leg joints, he would be able to get a perfect 90 out there and the other way because he has nothing limiting him, but I'd rather not break him. You also get the range of motion up and down like this. He does have a waist tilt, and all you have to do is really kind of pull this out of the way a little so he can move. So you do have some options. No tilt on the foot, just the transformation joint here, and then the standard knee. There's also an upper rotation here, so it does give you some decent posability options, but again, it'd be much better if I wasn't worried about the leg joints breaking. So I'm not going to mess with it, but you know, you can see you can still get him in cool poses. Now his gun's a bit weird because it uses like a rectangular, almost oval shaped peg, and he holds them just fine, but it's just strange because it's not a round hole or a round peg like everybody else. I don't know why they chose to do that. He has round holes drilled in him all over the place, for that matter. So let's take the time here and let's transform him to his vehicle mode. Actually, before we go to vehicle mode, let's go ahead and bring in X-Graver here just so you can see. And these guys just look really cool together because the styling is very, very similar. They just make a really cool shelf set, and I can't wait to get the other 4. It's kind of a shame that a lot of times they're going to be in their Devastator mode because they have so much personality. They're just like that perfect, very G1 reminiscent Constructicons, and I just love them. They're just great. So I love the shelf presence these guys have brought to my little display downstairs. So anyway, like I said, let's get on to transforming them. The transformation on Heavylabor is ridiculously easy, and I rather like that. What you're going to start by doing here is take his hands, his fists, and just kind of rotate them. You'll see the whole panel rotates around. Just rotate that up, and then bring everything so it's flush down here. You're going to peg stuff in after, I'll show you. You can then rotate this up like that, so you can see his shoulder, and that is formed. And then this little door here is going to swing on closed, and that's going to fill in the gap. And that's how you know you got it all positioned right. And then this other one will swing closed, and there's a little tab right in the hand where the hand is, and you'll plug it in there. Now mine wasn't perfect. I did need to take a little bit of a file and just kind of make it just a little bit bigger to make it fit, but that only happened on one arm, so it was probably just a little QC flub there. That wasn't really an issue. So anyway, do the same for this other arm. Flip everything around, close up the doors, and plug it on in. What you're going to do from here now is flip down his chest, just fold his head in, and you can see you've got pretty much the front of the truck now. One thing that's easy to forget is his little bumper. Rotate this up. Now, I kind of wish this was silver, because it's weird to see a truck with a purple bumper. I may go back and paint it. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait until I get all the Constructicons, and once they're finished, I'll make that decision. Again, you could see a repro label set come out for these guys. I know X-Graver has one that I just got in, so I'll probably be putting them on. So next Constructicon you see, X-Graver will probably look a little bit different. So if they come with a chromed bumper piece for him or something, then it's probably going to go on. What you can do here now, take the back, rotate this on up, and then rotate the top so it's over top of the cab, like that. Then take his arms and fold them up so they make like a T. And then what you're going to do, you can see he's got pegs and some tabs here. Just rotate it on back, and he's going to have corresponding slots and holes on the back, or on his arms here. And you're just going to kind of plug them in. The hardest one to get in is the very top, and even that's not too much trouble. So you get that all done, and you just do it again for the other side. Again, very, very simple transformation. Mostly done. You got a walking truck right now. A GUR truck, perhaps. Anyway, take his waist joint, which you could swivel, and you're going to rotate this on up. Actually, I'm telling you the wrong order. And bring that back down. Bring his feet and fold them on in. Then, what you want to do, they tell you can fold them up when they're straight like this. I find it's much easier to rotate him out like that, and then take everything, and you kind of have to hold his knees because his knees want to go too. Hold his knees and rotate the bottom around, and you'll see it'll all fit in much nicer that way. When it's straight, I find that it comes up and it bangs into the waist piece of the Devastator and the gray swivel. So it's just easier if you kind of splay his legs a little, and then you can fold them on back in, and they're not going to touch. There's going to be a gap there, but that's fine. So you're going to see that on the bottom of the truck there's these tabs and then the corresponding slots down here. Now you'll take his waist, fold it on up, and then the bed of the truck will peg into his legs, and then you can just kind of press on his knees to make sure he's set. And there you go. You got a nice little truck. And you have a plurality of holes all over this guy here that you can kind of fit these guns. Actually, I guess you don't have as many as I thought you did. Only one on each side. For whatever reason, I thought there were two up here. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you can, I've seen it online, where people put these guns in his fist holes just to kind of cover them up. Whatever you want to do. The instructions show them kind of like smokestacks on a truck. This way. I think that looks kind of silly. But whatever. You can just take them off. And you get just this really nice, compact truck. And if my one wheel is not turning, it's because it's needed for the actual waist for Devastator. I'll show you that. So it rolls pretty nice. No complaints there. Again, here he is next to his G1 counterpart. Pretty good representation. More stubby nose than this one, but hey, whatever. And here is a more recent rendition here. So you can see he's not really Voyager size. He's kind of in between Deluxe and Voyager. You could probably fit him right in the bed almost. Pretty close. Unfortunately, you don't get any like tilt of the bed of the truck or anything like you do on the Revenge of the Fallen, but hey, even that's not that much. So that's what you get there. Oh yeah, did you notice the lettering on the side? If you spell it all out and put it on paper, well, you got the H, and then 5 letters is an E, and 18 is an R, C, U for 21, L, 5 is an E, 19 is an S. What's that spell? Hercules. Of course, what would the review be if I didn't show you how he looked with his other construction counterpart, making it look like he's loading or unloading something into the back. They're really nicely in scale when you consider how big this truck is actually supposed to be. And when you're actually looking at these trucks, Optimus Prime should probably be, I would say, up to about here on him. These are huge trucks if you've ever seen them in person. Also, inside the box, I'll show you everything that came in the box. Actually, let's do it now. So, with this here, you of course get the card. Again, just a cardboard card, the art, with some stats on the back. Nothing that I care about too much. The instructions, of course, and not in the box, but also came with it when I ordered from BBTS, was the shovel. Now, if you followed the tutorial for fixing X-Graver shovel, again, mine is still not broken or anything with the tutorial. Some people had broken ones, and you get a new one, which I've never opened because mine's never been broken. So let's take a look at it. Oh, it's sealed in the bag. Oh well. I don't keep things in boxes as it is. So, you get essentially the same shovel. This is definitely a bit looser down at the bottom, not much. Pretty much essentially the same stuff that you would do by following the tutorial. So, very interesting. Just another shovel. So, back in the bag with you. Or the box in this case, because I just demolished the bag. Pretty cool artwork though to show the shovel, just like the line art of it, which as an engineer I find that pretty interesting actually. let's get this out of the way. And for the final part of this review, let's get him into his Devastator torso mode. And again, this is ridiculously easy. You bring down his legs, you kind of gotta fold him down a little and then rotate this waist piece down. And if you saw in the back when I was showing you how to do things, you rotate it. And there's the crotch plate of Devastator. Now, this is interesting because the instructions tell you that the wheels slide, and watch how much they slide. Did you see it? So, it just slides ever so marginally, but when you look at it from the front, you can see there's a big difference in terms of the height to the waist. So you're pretty much done. You get to here, and then all you do is just fold the arms at their joints there, and flip the top, and now he is set. And you can see his big old, I'm not sure why my camera's not focusing, there we go. You can see his big leg pegs to peg into these guys, and this sits down like that. I'm not a particularly big fan of how this sits. I'm hoping that maybe once it's all together it'll at least sit like that or something, but we'll see. We'll have to wait until neck breaker comes. It's going to be exciting when we can actually attach neck breaker and then X-Graver on the side here. So that's the next review, I suppose. 1 week will be Structor, and the next will be neck breaker, and we'll have half of a Devastator. Actually, 4/6. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. This is T2RX6. I will see you guys next week.